All right, let's not play no games. I need full-on participation. I need you to get down in the comments and work with me. Who should not make this Team USA team? I'm gonna give you my roster that I would keep. Let me know if you agree or not.
No hedging, no polished talking points. Just a blunt declaration about who should not be on Team USA. What makes this moment so striking is the certainty behind it, because the discussion that follows directly challenges long-standing beliefs about how USA basketball selects its rosters. This has moved well beyond casual fan debate. A serious conversation is now taking place about whether past accomplishments should outweigh present-day performance. And the conclusion many are reaching may catch people off guard.
The GOAT, Caitlin Clark, should be the starting point guard for Team USA. Duh, the best thing that ever did it. Caitlin Clark starting at point guard. Jackie Young should be starting at shooting guard. That is what I believe it should be. That should be the starting backcourt right there. We move on to the wing position. I got Kahleah Copper starting at the
Proposed starting five signals a dramatic change in philosophy. Caitlin Clark at point guard, Jackie Young at shooting guard, Kahleah Copper on the wing, De'Arica Hamby at power forward, and Aaliyah Boston anchoring the paint. What stands out immediately is what's absent: the traditional USA basketball obsession with seniority and Olympic resumes. This group emphasizes current production, on-court chemistry, and long-term vision. And this goes far beyond hypothetical lineup talk. Historically, USA basketball has prioritized continuity. Players who've survived multiple Olympic cycles, understand the system, and earn trust through years of international play. That mindset is exactly how Chelsea Gray made the 2024 Paris Olympics roster. Yet leaving Clark off that team, despite her arguably historic rookie season, ignited intense backlash. Fans pointed to the fact that Clark led the league in assists and three-point shooting, while Gray was still working her way back from injury.
I have Kelsey Plum coming off the bench. Obviously, Kelsey Plum should make this team. I think the backcourt is set between Caitlin Clark, Jackie Young, Paige Beckers, and Kelsey Plum. You got all you need at the guard spot. You really you really don't need no more guards after that, for real. You need wings and bigs. You don't really need no more guards after those four.
For guards, that's the entire backcourt rotation: Caitlin Clark, Jackie Young, Paige Beckers, and Kelsey Plum. When you examine the numbers, the case becomes difficult to ignore. Clark put up 19.2 points and 8.4 assists per game as a rookie, carrying the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016. Young is a WNBA champion with the Aces and a consistent All-WNBA selection. Plum is a proven Olympic gold medalist from the Paris Games. And Beckers, despite injuries disrupting much of her UConn career, showed in her return that she remains one of the most gifted scorers in women's basketball. But here's where the conflict emerges. That rotation completely excludes Chelsea Gray. Gray, the 2022 Finals MVP, a longtime pillar of USA basketball, known for postseason poise and clutch execution. The opposing view is simple. Gray turned 32 in October 2024 and battled persistent foot and leg injuries throughout the season. She appeared in just 26 games in the 2024 WNBA season, averaging 10.3 points and 4.4 assists, respectable production, but no longer elite by Team USA standards.
Have at the 4-5 off the bench. This might surprise some of y'all. Y'all gonna see where I'm going. I got Cameron Brink. On my team. I don't know about y'all. I got Cameron Brink coming off the bench for this team. I have Rickea Jackson coming off the bench on the wing for this team. I also have Kiki Area Finn coming off the bench as a backup big on this team. We have one spot left. Between Angel Reese, Chelsea.
And this is where the discussion becomes even more intriguing. Three wings coming off the bench: Seta Sabali, Ryan Howard, and Rickea Jackson. Except that's not actually what was proposed. Let's correct that. The actual selections were Sonia Citron from the Washington Mystics and Rickea Jackson, along with Cameron Brink slotted at either the 4 or 5, Kiki Iriafin as a reserve big, and Angel Reese claiming the final roster spot. Cameron Brink over Brittany Griner is the decision that will spark the most controversy. Griner stands 6 feet 9 inches, is a two-time Olympic gold medalist, and has been one of the most dominant defensive forces in women's basketball history. In the 2024 season, she averaged 17.8 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks per game. Even at this stage of her career, she has served as the defensive backbone for Team USA in multiple international tournaments. But Brink represents a different direction. At just 22 years old, she symbolizes the future. The second overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft out of Stanford, a national champion, she offers modern versatility, rim protection, switchability onto guards, and floor spacing ability. The complication is that she tore her ACL in June 2024, sidelining her for the remainder of her rookie season. That makes it clear this projected roster is focused on future competitions, not immediate results.
And being just a role player, which is what she should be. She's not a star go-to player. Rebound, and that's it. That's all. Rebound and play defense. That's all you got to do. That should be your role, but your team in the WNBA sucks so bad that you're trying to do more, and that's just not you. Angel Reese makes my final 12. So who didn't make my cut? It's a lot of y'all looking like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You got that right. Chelsea Gray didn't make my team. I'm over all these old people. Look, Chelsea Gray's done her thing. She shouldn't even been in the Olympics. Caitlin Clark rookie year. Caitlin Clark should have had that spot.
Angel Reese earns the final roster spot, and the logic behind it is actually quite reasonable, even if it's stated bluntly. Reese averaged 13.6 points and 13.1 rebounds per game as a rookie with the Chicago Sky, setting a WNBA record with 15 consecutive double-doubles. She's an elite rebounder who brings physicality and defensive edge, but the assessment is fair that her role should be clearly defined. She isn't meant to be a primary scorer. She isn't there to run an offense. Her value comes from rebounding, tough defense, and doing the gritty work that doesn't show up in highlight reels. Chicago struggled throughout 2024, finishing 13-27 and missing the playoffs. When Reese tried to stretch her role beyond rebounding and defense, her efficiency declined. She shot 39.1% from the field and carried a usage rate that was likely higher than ideal for her skill set. On Team USA, surrounded by elite scorers and creators, she wouldn't be asked to do more than rebound and defend, and that's exactly what makes her such a clean fit for that final spot.
We got 4 of the top guards in the league. Every guard I named, in my opinion, is better than Chelsea Gray. Caitlin Clark is better than Chelsea Gray. Paige Beckers is better than Chelsea Gray. Jackie Young is better than Chelsea Gray. Kelsey Plum is better than Chelsea Gray. We don't need Chelsea Gray on this team. No disrespect. You did your thing. You've had your fair share of Olympic runs. It's time for the new generation. Time for us to move on. Brittany Griner did not make this team. Brittany Griner, now you can always use that 6'9" size.
So now let's examine who is left off and why this is such a significant shift. Chelsea Gray, Brittany Griner, and Veronica Burton do not make this projected roster. The explanation offered is generational transition, moving away from established veterans to build around the next wave of stars. And here's where things get complicated. USA basketball has never traditionally operated this way. They prioritize institutional knowledge. They value players who understand the nuances of international basketball, which differs from the WNBA in rules, officiating, and pace. The three-point line is shorter in FIBA play. The lane is wider. The game is more physical overall. Veterans who've competed in multiple Olympics and World Cups know how to adapt instantly. That's why Sue Bird remained on Team USA until age 41, capturing her 5th Olympic gold medal in Tokyo at 40. That's also why Diana Taurasi was selected for the Paris Olympics at 42, becoming the oldest player in Olympic basketball history. USA Basketball has historically trusted veterans because they perform under pressure on the international stage. But a counterargument is gaining traction. The gap between the United States and the rest of the world is closing. Team USA won gold in Paris, but several games were far tighter than expected. Australia challenged them. France held leads. The era of winning every game by 30 points is over. And maybe that reality means it's time to prioritize athleticism, shooting, and players dominating the WNBA right now, not those who were dominant 5 years ago.
We got Hamby, we got Angel Reese, we got we got Kiki, we got some bigs, we got some size, we good. And Veronica Burton didn't make this team. No, love Veronica Burton, love her as a player, but this team is already stacked with guards, so Veronica Burton did not make the cut for my final roster. So I'm going to read you the final roster again. Caitlin Clark.
Let's go through the final 12 one last time and break down what this roster construction is really trying to accomplish. Caitlin Clark, Jackie Young, Kalia Copper, De'Erica Hamby, Aaliyah Boston, Paige Buchers, Kelsey Plum, Sonia Citron, Cameron Brink, Angel Reese, Rikia Jackson, and Kiki Iriafen. The average age of this group would land in the mid-20s, which is noticeably younger than a typical USA basketball roster. By comparison, the Paris Olympics team carried an average age well into the 30s. This signals a complete reset, essentially declaring that the Olympic cycle spanning Tokyo and Paris has ended, and the focus has shifted toward 2028 in Los Angeles and the future beyond. The positional balance is also telling. There are 4 true guards, which might seem excessive until you consider that international basketball is driven by guard play. FIBA games are often decided on the perimeter, where shooting, spacing, and decision-making matter more than traditional post dominance. Having 4 high-level guards who can shoot, pass, and handle constant pressure is a logical strategy. The front court is where things become more experimental. Hamby, Boston, Brink, Reese, and Iriafen provide size, mobility, and defensive versatility, but not much classic back-to-the-basket scoring. This team would aim to play fast, space the floor, and win with athleticism and shooting rather than slow, physical post play. It's a thoroughly modern approach, and one that reflects how the global game continues to evolve.
Should be on this Team USA team. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Who's on your team? Who would you take off of my list? I think I know who a lot of y'all say. Get down in the comments. Let me know. Let's keep the video.
This debate cuts much deeper than simply choosing 12 players for a single tournament. At its core, it's about the future identity of USA basketball and whether the organization is prepared to make difficult decisions that place current performance above legacy. Chelsea Gray perfectly embodies this conflict. She's a champion, a finals MVP, and an Olympic gold medalist who earned her reputation through years of elite play. But in 2024, she was no longer among the very best guards in the WNBA, arguably not even in the top 10. Age and injuries have clearly had an impact. So the question becomes, do you reward past success and hope she can rediscover that level for one event, or do you select a player who is clearly performing at a higher level right now? The same dilemma applies to Brittney Griner. She remains productive and is still one of the premier shot blockers in the world, but at 33, her mobility is not what it was 5 years ago. Cameron Brink, if healthy, may not yet match Griner's defensive dominance, but she offers greater versatility and far more long-term upside. So, what truly matters more? Proven championship pedigree or future potential? Historically, USA Basketball has sided with veterans. That's why the Paris Olympics roster included Diana Taurasi, who played sparingly but was valued for leadership and experience. That's also why Breanna Stewart and Alyssa Thomas were automatic selections despite injury concerns. Continuity and trust have always been central to the program. But the Caitlin Clark omission fundamentally changed the conversation. Leaving the most popular player in women's basketball off the Olympic roster sparked massive backlash. Indiana Fever games averaged over 1 million viewers multiple times during the 2024 season, with some broadcasts reaching 2.3 million on networks like ABC. Olympic basketball viewership remained strong, but it wasn't dramatically higher than regular season WNBA games featuring Clark. The optics were disastrous. It appeared as though USA Basketball was penalizing Clark for being a rookie, even though she was clearly one of the 12 best players in the country. That decision may force a philosophical reset. If performance matters, if current ability matters, if fan engagement and star power matter, then defaulting to veterans is no longer enough. Tough choices have to be made. Champions have to be told their window has closed. The focus has to shift to what's happening on the court now, not what happened 3 years ago. Those decisions are uncomfortable. Sports organizations avoid them because they create controversy and hurt feelings. It's far easier to keep running back the same core until it fades naturally. But easy doesn't equal progress. And if USA Basketball wants to stay ahead of the global competition, it may need to embrace that discomfort. The proposed roster forces every one of these conversations, and it clearly signals that Chelsea Gray's era has come to an end. Caitlin Clark running the offense, surrounded by elite shooters and dynamic athletes. Aaliyah Boston anchoring the defense at the rim. Paige Bueckers delivering instant offense off the bench. Angel Reese attacking the glass on every possession. That's a team constructed to win in 2028, not one designed to reward what players accomplished in 2024. So the real question isn't whether this exact roster is perfect. The real question is whether USA Basketball is ready to commit to this mindset. Are they prepared to value performance over pedigree? Are they willing to tell legends that a new era has arrived? Are they ready to build around Caitlin Clark the same way they built around Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi for more than a decade? If not, if they continue to default to veterans' experience and loyalty, they could find themselves vulnerable. The rest of the world is improving. Australia is loaded with talent. France is rising. Spain, Canada, Belgium, and China are all getting stronger. The gap is narrowing. And the only way to maintain dominance is to put the best possible roster on the floor, not simply the most decorated one. That's what makes this debate so critical. It's not about disrespecting Chelsea Gray, Brittany Griner, or any other veteran. It's about recognizing that sports evolve. Generations turn over, and the players who ruled 5 years ago may no longer be the right choices today. The roster proposed here is aggressive, youth-driven, and built entirely around present-day performance. It prioritizes shooting, versatility, and players who are dominating the WNBA right now. It would be controversial. It would upset people. But it might also be the roster that gives USA Basketball its best chance to win gold in Los Angeles. So what's your take? Is it time for USA Basketball to move on from the veterans and commit to the next generation? Or do experience and championship resumes still outweigh current production? Should Caitlin Clark be the starting point guard, or does she still need to earn that role behind established names? And if you were selecting the team, who would you cut and who would you keep? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this debate is only just beginning.